If I was going to be perfectly blunt, I would say I don't have very high expectations of the minister. The ANC has mismanaged our economy. It has grossly mismanaged the public finances, and the ANC government has got themselves into a very difficult spot. So I'm not expecting any surprises, actually. I think what we're going to hear again from the minister is, well, we're in a very difficult position and now we have to make some really difficult choices. But it's the government themselves that created this problem. What I do want to hear from the minister is, what is government going to be doing about growth? Our economy is not growing and it's not generating the sustainable jobs that we need. So what is government actually going to do? Is it going to do nothing? Because we know that it doesn't care, but is it actually going to do something? So are there going to be incentives, for example, for small and medium enterprises and entrepreneurs? What is government actually going to do? How are they going to stimulate domestic savings, for example? How are they going to stimulate foreign direct investment? Because that's the only way our economy can grow. So I want to hear something from the minister about that. Also, what is happening on the never-ending power outages? We have rolling blackouts that have not stopped, although government promises that all the time. So what's going to happen to our economy if government doesn't actually start moving along? It's been promising now for over a decade that something's going to happen here. But our businesses can't flourish. People are battling. There's an escalating cost of living crisis as the food prices go up because we have this energy crisis. So what are they going to do about that? And talking about transferring Eskom's debt is not the answer. What we want to hear is, how far are we on these public-private partnerships? So that's what we want to know. Also, how is the minister going to manage the massive hole that we have in terms of debt? There's a massive debt repayment coming up that government can't fund. So how is it going to do that? We will probably hear that he's going to raid the Reserve Bank's risk reserve. So what government plans to do is to take half of the 250 billion odd reserve and take that and pay it towards cutting back on the mountain of debt. But it's not going to make enough difference. And that means also it leaves our economy more vulnerable. So we want to know, is he going to do that? And then if he does that, is he happy with the fact that it's going to put our economy further at risk? And then also, what about tax increases? The DA will not support any tax increases. I actually told the minister that when I saw him recently. Government, of course, has no space, so it has to get money from somewhere, and it is very tempting to then try and squeeze extra VAT out of already battling population. So what is government going to be doing about tax? Because we certainly won't support any increases. And also, crucially importantly, we want to know, what are they going to be doing about corruption? The problem is that we are still grey listed. What progress have we seen? And then, of course, how is government going to support vulnerable South Africans? The DA supports a reduction in tax, actually, by cutting the fuel levy and also increasing the zero-rated basket of food. That's what we propose to do. And we also will not support any further tax increases. But what we will also obviously support is an increase, for example, in the child grant. The DA believes that should be lifted to the poverty line because it's simply not enough. We also will convert the social relief of distress grant into a job seekers grant so that we can continue supporting vulnerable South Africans. So the DA has a full suite of options that we can actually implement. When we become the government after the election, the DA will be able to implement measures so that we can grow the economy, manage the debt, support vulnerable South Africans, and start sorting out the energy crisis.
Get help registering to vote at check.da.org.za. Register to rescue South Africa.